Student transportation was at the Toronto Stock Exchange today, celebrating its 100th consecutive monthly dividend. The third largest provider of school bus transportation services in North America also reported Q3 earnings last week. To talk about where the company is headed, we turn to the founder, chairman, and chief executive officer, Denis Gallagher. Good to have you with us again.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, so it may come across as a little greedy, but investors are looking for yield. 100th straight monthly dividend sounds nice. What about giving us a little more, boosting that divvy?
Well, that's one of the things, obviously, that we would love to be able to do, but we're in a situation where we would love to be able to grow into our yield. So right now our yield is about 8.4% or so it's a very attractive yield. So I'd like to see us kind of have the share price appreciation kind of get to about $10, and then we could kind of have a 5.6% yield, and I think we could increase it about a CPI.
The street does get nervous when they start to see yields moving into double digits. Is there any risk you're going to have to cut your dividend?
No, our dividend has been secured, and that's why it's, you know, it's the long-term contracts that we have, the visibility, kids going to school, and that's the kind of revenue streams that we've been doing for 16 years. So, again, I think I would love to have the guy who was sitting here 8 years ago when we went public on the TSX, when we launched, who said, geez, I'm not sure this is sustainable, and 100 months later, we're still here.
Well, you've also got old man winter to contend with, Mother Nature at large as well. What role do things like Superstorm Sandy and just general bad weather conditions play in your overall bottom line?
Well, they do play a little bit of a role, but the good thing about our revenue is that it's contracted revenue. So we're contracted with our school districts across North America for 180 days of school. So if we miss a day like we did in the second quarter with Hurricane Sandy, we missed a lot of snow days in the third quarter, but we're going to make them up in the fourth quarter. So we have this revenue deferral of about $5 million. Half of that will automatically fall to the bottom line in the fourth quarter. And then I have people say to me, geez, you had such a great fourth quarter. And I say, that's because we missed the days. But, I can predict how many days we're going to go to school. I just can't predict the weather and which months those are going to go in. But the contracts pay us for 180 days. So at the end of this fiscal year, which is June 30, we're going to be exactly right on our targets for revenues and our consistent historical EBITDA numbers.
You're also looking at trying to trim costs. I can imagine technology plays a role in that. You're putting in GPS systems and stuff like that. Don't you always know where the buses are?
Well, we want to know more about them, and we want to know a lot of things that GPS does. The other thing that we're doing to reduce cost is we're putting 1,000 LPG, so we're converting the fleet over in brand new vehicles, literally to compressed, some of them are compressed natural gas. The others are liquid propane gas. And the difference, the cost in the U.S., $3.65 a gallon for diesel, $1.10 for propane. So we're able to reduce our cost that way, and fuel is a variable cost for us.
You entered into a 5-year amended credit facility back in February. Give you enough cash for walking around?
Yeah, we've got a $155 million credit facility with a $100 million accordion feature. We used to grow, for the last 8 years, we've grown 15% a year for the last 8 years, but we go back to the market. Now we've got a new program where we can grow 10 to 15% a year without going back to the market. So we use our smart vehicles, kind of less pollution, less dilution, so that's really, going to be the key for us in the future.
Denis, all the best to you. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it.
Denis Gallagher is the founder, chairman, and chief executive officer of Student Transportation.